Hey, what's up, guys? Norcetto here. Thanks for stopping in. So much stuff has been going on. Like, oh my god, obviously, Season 2 has started. The Atlanta Reign has been playing on stage, and it has been glorious. But before we get to that, there was some news that's popped up since the last time I made a video that we kind of need to talk about before we jump into the game. So let's do that. First, just kind of go over it real quick. There was the community countdown where we did get to see the Atlanta Reign play. It was, a scrim versus Boston. Scrim, because these teams were not playing actual comps, except Atlanta kind of did. Now I'll get back to that, but yeah, essentially this was just the teams having fun. People were playing on off-roll heroes, so I think we had Kodak on Reinhardt at one point. It was fun to watch, but the expectation wasn't really handled that well. The Overwatch League and Nate Nanzer weren't actually happy with how it ended up happening, so they transitioned the remaining teams after the first few had played to just playing mystery heroes. But we did get to see Atlanta play Boston, and it was fun for what it was. So beyond that, we had a 1v1 and a paintball with Masa versus IDK from the Hangzhou Spark, and that was fun to watch. Masa did unfortunately fall to some insane shots by IDK, frankly. And then we had Capture the Flag versus the Chengdu Hunters, and let me just say that we beat the Hunters, and it was a fun match to watch, but their tweet afterwards that said that, you may have captured our flag, but you also captured our hearts, that warmed my heart. Chengdu has captured me, and they are definitely either my 2 or 3 team at this point. They're so wholesome. I love it. But anyway, so Atlanta, got to see them. Wasn't anything, more than just a little fun, but we did get to see them. Furthermore, on Sunday before the league started up, we had an announcement come out from our Academy team and from Dogman, who was one of the stars from the Academy team, that he was no longer with ATL Academy. And this was absolutely huge news, devastating news. Dogman was one of the stars of ATL Academy. The whole team was fantastic, but just the amount of personality he brought to the team, and just how hard he had been working over the last couple of years in the Overwatch scene and the community. It was just really hard to hear, and a lot of people were wondering what happened. Well, a few hours later, we got a video from Kasoris from the Atlanta house, and long story short, Dogman did leave ATL Academy because he got pulled up to the Atlanta Reign. So yes, we have 9 members now. We have 3 support players, and Dogman made his presence known. He was on stage a lot for the first 2 games, which, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into them. So first game was versus the Florida Mayhem. Florida had a completely rebuilt team. It's now mostly a Korean squad. It was full, I believe European last year was full European. They did keep Tavik, which really confused me, and I didn't expect to see much playtime out of Tavik, but Tavik played the majority of the day versus the Reign. Now, there were questions as to whether the new squad would be something that Florida can kind of make use of and really build up and be different than how Florida Mayhem was last year with the disappointing season. And they're going to have to wait a little while longer to find out, because Atlanta 4-0'd them. That's right, Atlanta can lay claims to the first 4-0 of the season, beating Florida Mayhem handedly, including some amazing compositions, the first of which is when we came out and debuted, we had Defran open on Ilios with a Torbjorn, which people were going nuts. The crowd in the arena were going nuts. I was at Battle and Brew for the watch party, which I'll get into in a second. And everyone there was losing their minds. Chants of "Let's go, dude!" And he pulled it off. I mean, Torbjorn isn't played a whole lot because generally there are a lot of other characters who can kind of provide a lot of the same damage for less liability, I'd say. It's not a hit scan character with that primary fire, so a lot of times when you play a Torbjorn, you might as well play maybe a McCree or something like that. But when you have the aim and the expertise on Torbjorn, like Defran has, play a Torbjorn, because he came out and he rocked it. I think went all the way up to 99% without dying. He did eventually swap off to the Zarya, and Zarya is what he mainly focused on the rest of the day, as we expected with the GOATS meta still super popular. But It was a great match overall. It really showcased that Atlanta was they weren't going to be struggling with certain teams that don't have cohesion, which really propels this idea that I've been saying that, you know, if we can get past any kind of communication barriers, that we're going to be an all-star team. Well, whatever they've been doing in the team house, guys, whatever you've been doing over there has been working, because you guys did not seem like there was a whole lot of communication issues. There were a few mistakes here and there, but for the most part, the team played like they'd been playing for months and months and months. You know, if you would have said that this is a team that made minor changes in the offseason, I would have believed it, because the synergy that these guys have is insane for who they are, and the wide array of nationalities and different regions represented. But it was absolutely insane. The watch party, which I was at, was so crazy. It was such an experience to be there with so many fans. I told the story before that I was a Houston fan in season 1, and one of the things that bothered me was I was unable to go to watch parties and really interact with the fan community outside of just Discord and kind of online, and I never really felt connected. This was everything I had wanted. We had a sold out, tickets were free, but packed house at Battle and Brew. People were waiting in line. We got down to hitting capacity where we had to do 1-for-1s when people would leave. That's when people would come in, and people were still waiting. It was so cool to see that kind of dedication. I know going forward there will probably be more meetings at Battle and Brew, more watch parties, but I know that as we expand and have more larger meetups, we'll probably be looking at other venues in the area that can really facilitate a lot more people, because the fans showed up, man. We had so many really cool people with really fun ideas. A lot of fan shirts that were made. We had cosplay there. We had our own Atlanta Diva and Atlanta Anna, with Tiger Lily and Sylvan Princess cosplay. Though they did an amazing job. The other fans there that helped plan it, with Aussie Leo and Bear, who helped run the thing and really handled a lot of the giveaways that happened. They were able to pull in Steel Series equipment to give out. Some amazing these things right here. These amazing coins. I don't know if that's coming in. That Aussie Leo was able to get for us, that he had sent some to the team, so they have some, and then the first 50 people who came in were also able to get these, and he's also giving away about 10 of these on Twitter right now, so definitely check that out. That was amazing. I got a poster with the squad on it, the team on it. It was just amazing, guys, and big shout out to Payload Atlanta for being there and helping set that up. The Royal Watch for being there. Blitz was there and helped a whole lot. It was a great time, guys. It was really great. I really encourage anyone who's able to make it to show up. If there's any questions about capacity or anything, just send one of us an email and let us know, and we'll do everything we can to facilitate, because I want as many people to come to these things as possible. This is what I was missing in season 1, and if you haven't been to a live event, I can't encourage it enough. But that was one of the highlights of the week. But 4-0ing a team that a lot of people had questions about is one thing, but facing the runner-ups from the season 1 grand finals, who had just demolished the season 1 champions earlier in the week. I say demolished. They went to map 5, but still, to have to go up against the Philadelphia Fusion in our first week was insane, and it was an insane match. I mean, this is being called probably the best game of the season so far. It's going to take a lot for a match to really go back and forth to the point where this one will be topped. I mean, we had Atlanta taking the first map, Philly takes the second map, Atlanta takes the third map, Philly takes the fourth map, and we push it all the way to map 5, round 3. And unfortunately, Atlanta did end up losing in the end. But what a showing, and what a way to kind of show that we deserve to play with the best in the league. Philly has been, especially at the end of season 1, showed a lot of dominance. They made it to the grand finals, and they're looking just as strong this season. A lot of people are placing them in the top 5. and we gave them a run for their money. We almost took them down in the second game of the season. And for a team that a lot of people had questions about, how well they would do until they found their rhythm, that's amazing. And I still think we have room to grow, room to find our rhythm, and we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. So absolutely, I think Atlanta is a top 5 team. Of course I do, right? But I really think with the showing that they had, DeFran showed just with a few mistakes here and there. There was masterful execution of Zarya. His tracking is really paying off there. Erster showed up and laid down a ton of damage on Ilios on his Hanzo, being able to zone people out and get some kills with the unassisted dragons was really cool to see. Masa, which there was one map, I think it was Volskaya, where he was able to take out a EQO on a Pharah, and I don't even think he was like the way he flipped his mouse around and everything and be able to track him down and take him out and knowing exactly where he was ludicrous. It was insane. Like Masa was just consistently messing with and annoying the hell out of the fusion, and it was great to see. And one really big surprise, especially with a new announced signing, was Dogman, who really played a lot over both games and over the course of the Philly match. And there was a couple rounds where he got focused hard, and he was burned down immediately and stalled out. Because of that, ended up stalling out 2 of Atlanta pushes, and they weren't able to really get going on one of their pushes until a couple minutes in because of it. But even still, he kept his head in the game and was finding picks that probably he shouldn't have been able to find, but he knew where to look and he knew what he was doing. He kept his head in the game. A lot of clutch moments to find a lot of key picks, and just expect him to do really well and expect him to grow more the more he plays with the team. I can't wait really to see more of Kodak in there, because we did get to see a lot of Dogman, but I am looking forward to seeing our German player in there. And that was one really cool thing. Speaking of Kodak and the players we used, in the first game, we used every player on the roster. Like, every person who was on the team. No one was riding the bench. Even Gator, who is our two-way player and only has a very limited amount of time to play on stage, got to play on the opening day. And that means a lot. I think that was done for a lot of reasons, but it makes me feel good that every single player got time on stage. So yeah, those games. So we're 1-1 right now. With our one loss obviously being against Philadelphia. I don't think this looks bad with us having that loss. It's a high quality loss, frankly. This coming week, we're going to be going up against the Toronto Defiant, and I'm not terribly worried about the Defiant. There's a chance they could kind of put things together. They're still missing one of their key players in Neko, I believe, and they struggled to beat the Houston Outlaws, who aren't really looking that great either. So as long as we can keep the consistency up that we had in week 1, I don't think Toronto will be a problem. We may lose a map. Just we had some issues on payload maps against Philly, just not really being able to find our footing or shutting them down completely on our offensive pushes. Again, that was Philly, but there is a chance that we might get a little shaky on a couple maps, and we might need to work specifically on certain maps. So I wouldn't be surprised if Defiant are able to find a map, but I do think we're going to win this one 3-1. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be on Friday. Make sure to be in any of the Discords, the community Discord, or on Twitch or anything, cheering the guys on, because I know that the team really appreciates that. It means a lot to them that everyone's cheering them on and really has their back. It's really had an effect on them. So yeah, moving on from that's kind of the news. We're in season 2. We're playing in the Overwatch League. It's madness. But yeah, so right now we're just looking forward to week 2. There's bound to be more media and content coming out from the Atlanta Reign. One really fun piece that came out was highlighting a deal that the Atlanta Reign made with Auto Trader, it looks like, and that is an Atlanta Reign branded van bus thing. I don't know what they're called. A small bus for the team to get to the arena, and it looks amazing, like with the full design rain logos fully wrapped on this thing. It looks so cool. And to introduce it, they made a Jarrell made a Back to the Future style video with Dogman saying they're going to 2032. I think what he said, 2042, about the what season of the Overwatch League will be in. And you know, I hope in this future Atlanta has solidified that dynasty. But yeah, check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's what I got. It's been a crazy week. I've been doing a lot of work with the Game Haus with reviews of games, previews for upcoming weeks. So make sure to check that stuff out. Yeah, as soon as this other game goes up, I'll make sure to get my thoughts in order and have another video for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And until we get more news, I'll talk to you guys later.